Hello everyone and welcome back. This is now video 40. In the last video, the first thing I did was I fixed this problem here where the import, so in Python 3, you import string IO from the IO module, and in Python 2, you want to import it from this cstring IO module. And so I just added this try block here to handle a situation where you're running Python 2 or Python 3. I added this metric equals none here to just let the user know that metric is defined as as an instance variable. Down here, I added underscores to the internal name on the this is the alert mode base class, and so yeah, I added those underscores there just to make the internal name more easily readable. And also I wrapped this lamb to string function call, which turns this lambda, this is do alert that gets passed in through the constructor. It turns that into a string, and then we run that through make mini hash. And so we just make a hash out of the alert. And then I added these two functions, set alert on, set alert off. It just makes a table, or it makes a row in this alert history table. This one says alert on is true, and this one says alert on equals false. These two functions I'm eventually going to combine into a single function, but for now they're just two separate functions. And then also I changed around this a little bit. The main thing I did was I changed the print statements to having stars just to make them stand out more. And then instead of showing the metric, or like up here it says doing alert, and then it just says the metric name, I changed that to say the internal name. And that internal name is what this is up here. And then same with this print statement down here. I just put the stars and then internal name. And then also when we do this alert action, so after we call do alert. If it's true, then that means we set alert on, and that's what this one is here. And if do alert is false, then we jump down here and we say set alert off. So the point of this table is just to record the status of each alert, essentially. And then when we actually, so then if we say true, then we set it on, and then we call should alert, which is something I haven't written yet, which I'm going to do today. And if this returns true, and whether this returns true or not is dependent on the alert mode subclass. Like down here we have once, and there's more of them, but these subclasses have should alert defined. And so if this says true, then that means that we're going to actually do the alert. We're going to actually perform the alert action. And so we just loop through each of the actions. And the actions is the alert action class, which gets passed in to the constructor, which is right here, actions. And we just call the action method, and returning, and then this now returns a string, and that gets appended to this perform variable. And then after it's all done, we set history.actions performed to those strings, and we just paste them together with a new line. And then we also say did action equals true. So we want to record when we did the actions, as opposed to the alert being on, but then the action not occurring, which sometimes happens, depending on whether or not this should alert returns true or false. And also the set alert on returns the history object, and that's how we get this. And we also need to do history.save, which I didn't add, but I'll have to add that today. And then here is the alert action. It's now returning a string that just says sent emails to, and then the list of addresses. And this is going to get stored in the database, so the user knows that the alert actually happened. And then down here, so up here also, if you look at this perform, before it said result metric verbose, now it just says result verbose, because I'm not passing in metric through this perform method anymore. And so here it's we just called metric directly, but now down here it's self.metric. And the reason why I did that was because I think the reason is because this has to use self metric, and this one has to use self metric. And each of these methods have to use the metric, so it doesn't make sense to have to pass it in every single time. So I just have it be set as a attribute variable, and we set that up here in this is the initialization for the metric. We pass in a list of alerts, and these are alert mode objects, alert modes, as you can see. And so we just loop through each one, and we call set attr, and we just set the metric attribute to self. And in this case, the self just refers to the metric. And then down here, we remove self from here because we don't need it, because it was removed. It's not necessary. And then also alert history, we added this alert performed, which is just a string that describes what alerts took place. And then I renamed do alert to did action just to make it more, is a better name. So that's what I did yesterday. Oh, also one other thing I did was before I had two of these open. So I had this settings file for the Python 3 project, and then the Python 2 project has a settings file. And I would constantly make the mistake where I would edit the video 2 settings and then try to run it in Python 3, and it wouldn't show what I wanted it to. It was like a mistake, and it would confuse me. Or vice versa, I would modify the video 2 or the video 3 settings and then run it through Python 2, and it would confuse me. And so I decided I'm going to change the way that the settings are done. So I have this file called just 22 settings, and it's in my home folder, and it's just all of the settings specific for this project. And I just import, well, first I add my home folder to the system path, and then I just say import star. And so it's just importing everything from this file into this file, into the settings. And so I have that in both Python 2 and Python 3, and it works. I tested it and it works. So now I can just delete this, or I can close this window, and I can close this window. And now I just have everything in one window, and it's just less windows for me to have to switch around to. And so now when I make a change here, it reflects both Python 2 and Python 3. So that's just a kind of an improvement. And so for this video, I'm going to start by modifying this set alert on. So what happens here is we set the alert on, but we only want to set it on if it isn't already on. If it's already on, then we don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to say up here, I'm just going to say if self status on, just return. So, and then alert status I have to define. But then we want to copy that over to this one as well, except we're going to say off. If status is off, then we don't want to set it off again, so we just return. And so I'm going to define this function. And this just does a query of the database. So I'm going to say this. Remove this. And for this, I'm going to say tick machine equals machine, because an alert is specific to a machine. You can have like a bunch of different machines ticking at the same time, and so that's why we need this here. And then we'll say latest. And so this pulls the latest, and latest is according to this tick. And so I have to define that. So I go to the models, and I'll just basically copy this. And so get latest by is how you do this dot latest. You have to define that in the class, the meta class. And we want to say, we'll just say latest equals that. Dot alert, we'll just say on if So if latest.alertOn is true, it returns on. If it's false, returns off. And there's also one more corner case where there is no alert history. So like the first time the alert ever gets called, there won't be anything in the database. And so latest will just return nothing. And I'm not sure exactly what that'll do. So I'm just going to skip that for now. But at a certain point in the future, I'm going to run this and it's going to crash. And then when that happens, I will modify the code to make sure that it handles that case correctly. So now I will run a tick and just see what it's doing. Saying alert history not defined, I just forgot the import. Oh yes, the problem is in the settings file, you can't import models from the settings file. So this has to be, it can't be imported like that. You have to import it at runtime. So I just have to do this. It isn't very elegant, but later on I'll find a way to have it be not like that. I'll try to find a workaround, but for now I'm just going to paste it inside of each one of these. This is what I'm doing is I'm looking at the files. I'm going up until I find the one where it's showing my code. So like this down here is virtual environment. So this is Django's code. So here, this is the last code, or the last line, the bottommost line, that's my code, which is here. Line 45 alerts, which is right here. And it's saying tick machine is not a valid keyword argument for this function. This should be filter. Okay, so now it's saying no such table. So I have to make the table. And in order to do that, I have to make a migration. So and then there we go. Now it made the table. Now I can try it. Oops. Try it again. And now it's saying late. Yeah, so this is the problem I was talking about. It does not exist. So when we do alert status, this table is empty. So when we do .latest, it's not finding anything. So we have to do, we say does not exist. Does not exist. It's off by default. So I'm just going to say off. Try it again. I forgot a colon. There we go. And so now we can look into the admin, but we don't have an admin defined yet, so I need to do that. Go to admin, and then I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to say alert history. I think I just do it like that for now. Make sure the server is running. Oh, I have to import it. There we go. Now we'll open it up in the admin. Alert histories. There's nothing there. There's nothing there because we didn't, the alert didn't get fired, essentially. So I'm going to just modify one of these. So how about this one? I'm just going to remove this. So now if R0, which is result 0, which is going to be this one. If this one is greater than 1, then we will alert. And so we'll test this. It didn't say. So I'll load it into the, see if it made a history. There it is. So it made the history. So this was the alert directory size once. So it's not doing the print statement when it. Also, actions performed says it has nothing. Did action alert on. Okay, so I guess should alert returned false. So this was once, and so I think I know why. Yeah, once it just returns nothing. So if I say true and I try it again, it'll do the alert. Didn't do that either. So this is this on? This is alert on. Oh, I had to return, jeez. There we go, now it's doing it, doing alert. So it's sending the emails. I don't know why it takes so long to do this. Did action. Okay. This is because it's already turned on, so we return nothing. So this history is nothing. And so when we say did action, that's it's saying none, did action equals true. So I'm going to fix that in the next video. But for now, we're going to stop here. In the next video, I'm going to fix this issue. And then also I'm going to build out the admin. I'm going to add a one of these classes for the history. And I'm mostly just going to, I'm not going to do all this stuff. I'm just going to have a list display which shows just the basic stuff like tick history, or I mean it's going to show machine name, it's going to show the, it's just going to show this information. The machine name will show, and the alert name, and then maybe probably just that's it. Anyways, now I'm going to commit. And there it is. And I will see you next video.